So what does that say to you? Kawhi Leonard's $28 million fraud scandal has thrown the Los Angeles Clippers into chaos. What began as whispers of shady side deals has spiraled into a full-blown crisis for the franchise. When Leonard's coach Tyronn Lue was pressed for answers, his uneasy reaction, paired with Leonard's silence, only made the storm grow louder. Let's break it down. The $28 million fraud scandal surrounding Kawhi Leonard began not with him, but with a financial startup called Aspiration. Founded in 2013 by Joe Sandberg, a wealthy investor and political donor, and Andre Cherney, a former Bill Clinton speechwriter. The company branded itself as a green fintech bank with a conscience. It promised customers a way to fight climate change through everyday banking. Debit cards that planted trees, carbon-neutral credit cards, and services that turned spending into reforestation projects. This pitch attracted high-profile celebrity backers like Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert Downey Jr., Drake, Cindy Crawford, and Orlando Bloom, who signed multi-million-dollar endorsement deals to promote its mission. By 2021, Aspiration had raised over $600 million in funding, reached a valuation of $2.3 billion, and secured a $300 million sponsorship with the Los Angeles Clippers, which included jersey patches and arena branding at the soon-to-open Intuit Dome. But beneath the green branding, federal investigators later concluded that Aspiration was a fraudulent operation that misled investors, misused funds, and inflated its environmental impact. The fraud eventually dragged in Kawhi Leonard. Documents revealed that in April 2022, Aspiration signed a 4-year endorsement agreement with Leonard's shell company, KL2 Aspire LLC, paying him $28 million or $7 million per year. A later bankruptcy filing showed that $21 million was paid out before Aspiration collapsed, leaving Leonard owed $7 million more. On paper, the deal was structured as a typical celebrity sponsorship, where Leonard would endorse and promote the company. However, multiple former Aspiration employees reported that Leonard performed zero deliverables. He never made public appearances, never posted on social media, never gave an interview, and never wore Aspiration branding. The contract contained clauses that allowed him to opt out of every single key performance indicator, KPI. As one source explained, the KPIs were essentially optional. If a task didn't align with him, he simply didn't have to do it. An investigation scoured thousands of documents and public records and found that the number of times Leonard ever publicly referenced Aspiration was exactly 0. This contrasted sharply with other celebrities who actively promoted the company. Despite doing nothing, Leonard's payout was the largest by far. This arrangement immediately raised suspicions of salary cap circumvention. Under NBA rules, all player compensation must be fully disclosed and count against the salary cap. Teams cannot secretly funnel money through outside sponsors. The timeline deepened these suspicions. In September 2021, Clippers owner Steve Ballmer personally invested $50 million into Aspiration. Just weeks later, the Clippers announced their $300 million sponsorship deal with the company. Months after that, Leonard's LLC was registered and his $28 million endorsement agreement was signed. According to former Aspiration officials, Ballmer's investment gave the company the liquidity to fund Leonard's payout, describing the transaction as a round trip of funds. While Ballmer insisted he was defrauded and unaware of Leonard's deal, rival NBA executives called the arrangement unprecedented. Former employees described it as an open secret internally, with one stating that questions about the deal were discouraged because its purpose was to circumvent the salary cap. When this investigation was made public on September 3, 2025, the fallout was immediate. The NBA confirmed it had hired an external law firm to investigate whether the Clippers circumvented the cap. Potential penalties included multi-million-dollar fines, the forfeiture of draft picks, voiding of Leonard's contract, or suspensions for executives. Clippers owner Steve Ballmer defended himself, stating he was a victim of fraud. He argued that the Clippers signed Leonard to his contract extension before any involvement with Aspiration, and that his personal investment was a separate decision based on fraudulent financial documents. He claimed to have no knowledge of the specifics of Leonard's endorsement deal with Aspiration. Meanwhile, Kawhi Leonard and his uncle/manager, Dennis Robertson, remained silent. The lack of comment fueled speculation, with former aspiration officials noting that Leonard's payments were treated as a top priority, allegedly due to demands from Robertson. Critics found the coincidences in the timeline and financial figures difficult to believe. The scandal raises fundamental questions about the modern NBA, including the power dynamics of player empowerment and the league's ability to enforce its salary cap rules against sophisticated financial arrangements. Beyond basketball, the case exposed issues of greenwashing and celebrity complicity in financial fraud. Aspiration had promised environmental benefits but delivered very little, using celebrity endorsements to project legitimacy. Leonard's multi-million-dollar no-show deal became the most striking example of this. The NBA's investigation remains ongoing. Its outcome will not only determine the fate of the Clippers and Leonard, but could also reshape the league's financial regulations and the integrity of its competitive balance.